Alrighty then. Wondering if I'm live this time. Yes. It's us. What it is, guys. It's your boy Blasphemous HD. And today we are here to check out TikTok's far scarier than they ever should have been. Stuff so scary it'll make you slap one of your family members. Right in the kisser. Mouth. Face. No tongue. Optional. Type of one in the chat if you guys can hear everything I am saying. Type of two in the chat if you guys can't hear none of this. Yeah. Let us see. That is good. All right, you guys, we're getting the links up into the comment section. I've got a wild amount of hiccups right now. Hey, what's up, Apex Prince? Yo, it's good to see you, man. You know what I'm saying? What it is, Brody? What's up? Yes. Bruh, I just got done eating so much food that I'm probably going to end up falling asleep sooner than later. Blah, 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 friends. Blah, 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 wanna move, girl. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 friends. Blah, 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 something, move, girl. Blah, blah, on. Let's get hoes. Yeah, let's get hoes. I'm at to make this parody. Let's get hoes. Looking. Ladies looking shady. All of them fly. I'm gonna throw her out my car though. If she try to hit me in my eye or something. Yeah, we gonna edit that one out. That wasn't too well thought out. Let me see. Oh, that button. All right, you guys, make sure to type a one in the chat if you guys can hear everything I am saying and the audio is good. Type a two in the chat if you guys can't hear any of this. All of it is falls on deaf ears and or something else like that. Bruh. So tell me why the other night, man, this dude, like, I was leaving the gym and I saw these two girls walking with this dude and they had glow sticks, right? So I was like, oh, yo, them glow sticks look hella festive. So I say to him, I call over to him, I'm like, hey, where'd you guys get those glow sticks at? And the guy, he turns around and he yells at me, none of your fucking business, bro. None of your fucking business, bro. And I was like, word? You know what I mean? So then I asked the dude, I was like, hey man, like, can you fight? And he looks at me and he says, I'll never forget, he says to me, he's like, no. And I said to him, I was like, you can't fight? And he was like, no. And then one of the girls, she initiated a conversation with me. She handed me a glow stick and was like, yo, you want one? You want one of these glow sticks? So, I talked to the girls for about a good 2-3 minutes or so. And then rolled out. Should have given them my Instagram. Next time, I will. But golly, man, that shit's wild, dude. I didn't even know people still did stuff like that, man. Like, why would he be rude if he wasn't, you know? All right, so let's see. It better not be over this.
Of course not.
Huh?
I want to help you put Jarvis in.
I did not know it was playing Marvel. Gotta turn that off. Oh God, don't play the Ray J again. Well, actually, do play the Ray J. What the fuck is this? The fuck? Turn on the Ray J. This is funny. It's always hilarious. Listen to this man beg to pay someone.
I'm not being thirsty.
Not being thirsty. No. All right, you guys, we're bringing up
But I got a budget.
the videos. Bro, I swore I had them
We're
up.
having a budget.
I had like all of the videos
Oh,
up.
too far, okay.
What?
But I got a budget for somebody that want to be with anybody. Play the song
All right, I found him. This thing is looking annoying though. The fuck is this? What is? Oh, what the? Of course. All right, you guys. We brought up one of the chats. We've now reached our cruising altitude of having both of our tip jar links pinned up in the comment section, and we are about to start very, very, very shortly. Yes. Everyone, feel free to, not gonna say that. Hey, what's up, Ali? What it is? It's Mako. What's up, Psych? What's up, Apex? Let's do this. What it is, guys? It's your boy Blasphemous HD, and today we are here to check out none other but the scariest TikToks we could find on the internet. TikTok's so scary. For today, we are here with TikTok so scary that they scare the white people. Now, now it's very important. Now, in case you guys don't know, if you guys are new into entertainment, you never want to scare the white people because there's the ones that buy the merch. Now, with that being said, we're gonna go directly into our into our video for the day. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys do want to super chat to your boy, easiest way is directly through the tip jar, which is pinned up above in the comment section and or so below and or above. Definitely one of them. If you guys do send something to my tip jar, be sure to let me know by saying tip jar or check your tip jar. You know what I'm saying? It's a game we play here on the channel. You'll send it through the comments. Second best way to super chat your boy is directly through the channel. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys want a super chat request, which is you get to pick the video that we watch next, and we react to it in front of everyone, as long as everyone has their clothes on in the video. That's 50 in super chat. You know what I'm saying? Also, if we reach 50 in super chat, we will be scaring the living shit out of us. So you guys get a choice today. So type of one in the chat if you guys want me to play an extremely scary game once we reach our first super chat milestone. Type of two in the chat if you guys want me to show you the trailer for How to Make Outlast Not Scary Part 2 once we reach the super chat milestone. So one, for me playing scary games, scared the shit out of myself. Two, you guys get to see a brand new voiceover dub trailer to my new How to Make Outlast Not Scary that I'm working on. Anything but one. Shit! You guys are picking one. Have you no decorum?
He started hearing strange noises coming from outside her bedroom door. Kenzie was home alone and had been drifting off to sleep when she suddenly heard the sounds. It sounded like someone was shuffling about outside her bedroom, but Kenzie knew there was no way anyone could have gotten into the house. The doors were locked and the windows were shut. Creeped out, she slowly got out of bed and checked the house for intruders. As expected, there didn't seem to be anything out of the
what's up,
ordinary.
Nairo?
Kenzie told herself she'd been imagining things and got back into bed. Just a moment later, she heard the sounds again. As a believer in the paranormal, Kenzie decided to grab her phone and start recording, just in case. What she caught on camera left her completely terrified.
This is the
Please don't let
creepiest
it be
video
too scary for me.
I've ever made. And it only gets worse after I enhanced it.
Original. No. Listen close. The screen suddenly brightens. Hear what?
Silhouetted in the dark hallway, something like a tall figure can be seen. Kenzie does not dare to switch
Motherfucker,
on
this
the
a
light.
black and white
Something
Etch-a-Sketch
about the
paint.
figure scares her so much that she can hardly move.
We can't tell what this
She
is.
knows it can't be an intruder
Bitch,
because
you
she had
videotaped this
searched
shit
the
in
house
Braille?
just moments before, which leaves
shit
her with
is
only one
32p,
explanation, that this
You filmed this
is
shit on a
something
Sega Genesis?
paranormal. However, she
You
has
can't
no
make that
idea
shit
why
up,
a ghost would have
motherfucker.
been lurking outside her bedroom in the middle of the night.
We ain't
So,
no
what do you
criminal
think Kenzie
Etch-a-Sketch.
caught
We
on
ain't no
camera?
criminal
A
sketchers.
ghost or something else? Let me
Some
know.
bullshit. Like I took a picture of this with a bucket full of sand. Black
Adventure guy
sand.
Matt is a YouTube channel dedicated to exploration.
doing well.
Matt enjoys
Hello.
nothing better than walking through dark,
Hey, what's up,
creepy
Cater?
forests and
What it is,
investigating
Julie? What's up,
abandoned
Cater?
locations. He often hopes he'll catch something paranormal on camera, but the most compelling evidence he posted on his YouTube channel wasn't captured in a dark forest or an abandoned building. It was recorded by a security camera in the back of a closed discount store. Matt's wife, Katrina, works at the store and claims to have experienced some very mysterious activity there. According to her, doors would open and close on their own, objects would be thrown from one end of the room to another, and voices could be heard even when the store was completely empty. But nothing had ever been caught on camera until one night, long after Katrina had locked up and gone home.
It's always
and what
after
the
they're
security
closed.
camera recorded left Matt and Katrina spooked.
Shaky. It's pretty fucked up though. Obviously a
Something
ghost.
pale and almost see-through was recorded by the security camera. It seems to appear from nowhere and then moves from one side of the room to the other before fading out of sight. Creepiest of all,
Oh, I
it
bet.
looks like it moves through the solid table. Katrina showed the footage to Matt, convinced that she had finally caught evidence that the store is haunted by a ghost. With all the creepy activity Katrina claims to have seen, Matt immediately believed her. But that's not all. Matt also says that Humansville, where the store is located, is known for its dark history. From the Battle of Humansville in 1862 to an unsolved cold case in which 2 people tragically passed away in 1976, Matt, Katrina, and other locals can't help but wonder if the town is haunted. And if you thought that was creepy, take a look at this next clip.
Mhm. That was not creepy at all, actually.
Chambéry Metro Station was opened in 1919.
Yeah, I know, Julie. I don't know why they
and
had to move
served
if
as
they
one
know
of
it's haunted.
Madrid's first ever underground railway stations. It became a very popular transport line and even served as a shelter during the Spanish Civil War. However, as time went on, Chambéry became more and more outdated. Finally, in 1966, it was closed and abandoned, but the rails were not moved and the trains were not rerouted. So, passengers on Madrid's metro would see flashes of the old station as their trains sped past. Because of the mystery of the abandoned station, rumors started to spread about it being haunted by ghosts. Passengers would often start recording on their phones as they sped past the old station, hoping to capture one of these spirits on camera. And a social media user named Philo2721972 hopped on a train back in May 2026 and hit record as he left the station before Chambéry. As the train was passing the old station, he caught something creepy on camera.
Caught somebody giving Odell Beckham in the train station.
Fíjate bien, ¿eh? Tú no pareces mirarme.
That looks scary to me. That's it. A homeless lady in the cut. Waited all that for
Figure
nothing.
can be seen on the platform of the abandoned metro station. Philo says it looks like a woman with long dark hair standing motionless as the train speeds past. Philo also mentions that although parts of Chambéry station are open to the public as
Hey,
a
what's up,
museum,
Jonathan the Gamer?
the part of the
It goes
platform
well.
where the figure was captured is strictly off limits. So there would be no reason for anyone to be standing there. Philo believes he caught one of the ghosts who is believed to haunt the station on camera. But what do you think? Drop a comment and let me know. Sometimes CCTV cameras capture strange and mysterious footage that are hard to explain. Reddit user Phantom881999 recently shared a piece of footage that was recorded by the security camera outside their father's workplace. The footage was captured late at night, long after the OP's father and all his co-workers had gone home. The area surrounding the building should have been quiet and empty, but just before midnight, something or someone was caught on the CCTV camera.
This is a man walking his three-legged dog. Nothing weird about that. Fucking giraffe dog.
The CCTV footage shows what appears to be two distorted figures walking past. It's dark, and the camera isn't the best quality, but an ordinary camera glitch doesn't seem enough to explain what's going on here. According to viewers, one figure seems to be walking upright. The second figure looks as if it's hunched over, ambling about on all fours. Some viewers suggested that these distorted figures could be nothing more than a person walking a large dog, but I've never seen a dog that moves like that. Most viewers were freaked out by this mysterious footage and were unable to offer a logical explanation for what they were seeing. Several commenters think that the CCTV captured a pair of ghosts or demons, but that's not the only example of creepy CCTV footage I want to show you. This next one might be even more strange. A homeowner living deep in the Appalachian Mountains claims their CCTV camera recorded a ghost wandering through their property in the middle of the night. The homeowner bought their house several years ago. It's a long way from the nearest town, with many acres of forest surrounding it. Their closest neighbor lives several miles away, and even the
That makes
nearest
no
road
sense, Cater
is
Game.
nowhere near their house. Some might think this sounds like a lonely place to live, but for the homeowner, it was perfect. They wanted to be far from the noise and commotion of modern life, and to spend their time surrounded by nature. There's just one problem. The homeowner thinks the property is haunted. They claim to often see strange figures lurking in the shadows at night. So, to catch proof, they installed some security cameras around the house, and it wasn't long before one of the cameras caught this.
This shouldn't be too bad. Fuck. Wrong again. At least it's not close to the porch. It's multiples? Oh, fuck.
Something
Yo,
pale
I'm cool with that, Jonathan the Gamer. I'm cool with some grandpa vids.
can be seen moving across the property. It looks as if it appears out of nowhere. Then it triggers a motion detecting light before it fades from view again. Since the property is so remote, it is hard to explain how and why someone would be wandering around outside the house in the middle of the night. The homeowner believes this is one of the ghosts that supposedly haunts his home. The Appalachian Mountains are said to be one of the most haunted and mysterious regions in North America. So, the homeowner is far from being the only person claiming to have ever seen a ghost there. But what do you think about this strange figure? Leave a comment below. A family from the United States recently moved into a new home. Everything seemed good until one day they noticed someone or something peeking out of the bushes that bordered the neighbor's yard. The father of the family quickly went outside to check who or what it was, but by the time he got there, the bushes were empty. But that wasn't the end of it. The face in the bushes kept appearing. Day or night, it would stare up at their house and watch the family. The father eventually spoke to his neighbors about it, wondering if they were playing a trick. but they had no idea what he was talking about. Not knowing what else to do and unable to cut down the bushes since they belonged to the neighbors, the family decided to build a fence around their yard, and that's when this happened.
Look, dude, she couldn't find her way over there, so now she's over here. She's back in here trying to fucking find a way into my property. You see her? Look at that face. Oh my god. It's right there staring at me. Dude, how fucking scary is that shit? Oh my god, dude. What the f? She's crawling through all this shit, bro.
The father was building the fence when he suddenly spotted movement in the bushes. Then he saw the face peeking out at him. Horrified, he tried calling out, but the face did not respond. He then went inside and called the police. But by the time they got there, the face had gone. The father tried speaking to the neighbors again and was creeped out when they told him an old woman used to live in his house. She had been strange and wasn't friendly with anyone in the neighborhood. She passed away alone inside that very house. Now the family can't help but wonder if the face in the bushes might have been the ghost of the old lady, watching them from beyond the grave. Maria Rodriguez attends a school that is said to be extremely haunted. Students at Maria's school tell stories of a girl who tragically passed away inside one of the female bathrooms. Although this happened many years ago, her ghost supposedly still haunts the bathroom to this day. Because of this, Maria and many other girls at the school are scared of using that bathroom alone. But one day, Maria was in class and couldn't wait any longer. She asked her teacher, then hurried to the bathroom. As most students were in class at the time, it was completely empty. However, just as Maria was finishing up and preparing to leave, she heard a creepy noise coming from near the bathroom door. She hid inside one of the shower cubicles and started recording. Seconds later, she caught this on camera. What looks like a head with long dark hair can be seen peeking around the corner. Maria freaks out when she sees it and retreats back into the shower cubicle where she's hiding. She waited there for several minutes. She was terrified that the ghost of the girl who had passed away inside that very bathroom was there with her. But fearing that she would be in trouble with the teacher if she waited much longer, she eventually gathered up the courage to step outside the cubicle again. To her surprise, the girl had gone and the bathroom was completely empty again. Maria hurried back to class, shaking with fright. Since that day, Maria has been back to that bathroom to see if she could see the ghost again. But so far, she hasn't seen anything out of the ordinary. So, did she really see a ghost that day? Or is there a more logical explanation for this creepy footage? Let me know down below. Galerías Laguna is a shopping mall in Torreon, Mexico. It should be a place where people can go to shop, eat, and relax, but it is said to be haunted by several ghosts. One of these ghosts is a small girl who supposedly passed away in the mall not too long ago. Employees who stay late long after the mall has closed to customers say they have seen the ghost girl running around at night. A group of construction workers were recently hired to install some steel girders in the ceiling of the mall overnight. However, while they were working, they saw something that left them all creeped out. What looks like a small child can be seen running through the empty mall. The construction workers call out to her, but she doesn't respond. Having already heard the stories about a ghost girl in the mall, they immediately assume that this must be her. Stranger still, the girl appears to run behind a pillar and does not reappear. Off camera, The construction workers went to check behind the pillar for her, but there was no one there. Creepy. Daisy Andrade woke up in the middle of the night to check on her son. Daisy lives in Hawaii with her husband and their 3 children. Their home is, according to Daisy, in the middle of nowhere. Because they live so far from the nearest town, their home is usually quiet and peaceful, and they rarely see other people near their property. However, when Daisy woke up that night to check on her son, she heard something that made her think there was someone outside. A baby monitor in the bedroom recorded everything. As Daisy gets out of bed, she hears something from behind her. She says it sounded exactly like one of her children was standing in the doorway of her bedroom. But when she turned around, there was no one there. Her kids were fast asleep in their room. Daisy was tired, so she thought she must have been imagining things. But then she heard something else.
I don't know.
Where's it?
I don't know.
Motherfucker! Michael! What the fuck? Talk!
What?
I read you better than this shit!
What are you talking about?
He's got here.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I told you! Ah, man, got it! You too big for toys! You're weak! Oh, goddamn! You're too big for toys! I read you, you're a goddamn man! You understand me?
I want you to get out.
I haven't calling
Get the
you!
fuck out of my house!
This is more important than fixing my internet!
Get out! Dude.
This is more important than my internet, huh? Ah! How's more important than my internet? Nothing's more important than my internet!
No!
Nothing's more important than my internet!
This is to him,
Damn.
obviously.
Was muted.
Go, just go.
None of you promised to go fix my internet! Get the fuck out of my fucking ass! Go fix my goddamn internet!
Get out!
Toy boy!
Call that nigga glory hole.
You go fix my internet!
My fucking arena.
What I care? you come. Had enough. You understand me?
No. Get the fuck out of my
Hey,
house.
guess
Get
what?
out!
Did it again. Resume what you were doing.
Get the fuck out!
My stove.
Yep, still hilarious.
Oh, we good. Nick, got me some TV.
Yep, still hilarious. Bruh. That shit is diabolical, bro. Angry Grandpa, legendary. Hilarious.
Daisy hears a voice calling her from outside the window. Again, she says it sounds exactly like her son, but she just saw that her son was fast asleep in his room. Concerned, Daisy wakes her husband and he goes outside to check, but he finds nothing out there. Daisy can only think that there must have been something paranormal on the property that night. In a follow-up video, she explains this about Hawaii.
Hawaii, there's a lot of ancient Hawaiian stories or traditions, or I would call superstitions, regarding to the comment saying that it was a stray animal or it was a mimic or skinwalker. We typically don't acknowledge or have that kind of folklore here. What we refer to is just ancient Hawaiian spirits. Although from what I think and in my opinion, it's probably just ancient Hawaiian spirits. We grew up knowing and it being talked about by our grandparents when they would go hunting or fishing. There would be spirits that would like call out to them or whistle, try to get their attention to lure them in. And that's probably most likely what it was, the spirit trying to get my attention. We've experienced, as well as the prior people that used to live here, which was my auntie, a lot of things that are unexplained, a lot of noises.
Type of 1 in the chat if you can hear all the audio. Type of 2 in the chat if you can't hear the audio. Yo, check your equipment, Azan, because I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with it.
Is coming from outside, which can be voices, people walking, chanting. My other half has seen stuff outside and inside of her house, shadow figures. It's something that you kind of become used to when you're growing up and living in Hawaii.
Although several viewers suggested that Daisy might have been hearing a mimic or even a skinwalker, Daisy does not believe she encountered either of those things. She explains that she and her husband, as well as the previous owners of her home, have experienced plenty of strange activity, but she believes it is caused by ancient Hawaiian spirits, and not all of them sound particularly friendly. So what do you think? Could Daisy have heard some kind of ancient ghost or spirit that night? And if she did, what did it want?
Hey, what's up, Caterer Games?
Just like in the previous clip, a homeowner has been dealing with some creepy activity around their property. This homeowner lives somewhere in the US, and his home was built in the 1940s. He claims to often see shadow figures and to hear the voices of children coming from his basement. Freaked out, the homeowner started recording whenever something inexplicable happened in his home. One day, he was relaxing on his couch and was about to switch on the TV when he noticed something highly disturbing. He quickly grabbed his phone and hit record. This is what he caught.
Is it? Am I
What did he catch?
tripping or is that? Someone sitting on my couch, but like, look, there's no
What?
one there. What?
I mean, okay,
But,
now
like, there's no one there. There's no one on the couch. Oh my God, it's gone.
A dark figure appears to be
That's
sitting on the
scary.
couch right behind the homeowner. However, when he turns back, there's no one there. The couch is empty and the figure only seems to be visible in the reflection of the TV. But it gets creepier. After turning back to look a second time, the homeowner is horrified to see that the figure in the reflection has suddenly disappeared. The homeowner thinks that what he saw that day was a ghost and that his 1940s home is haunted.
Definitely probably a ghost. Yo, W in the chat. Jonathan the Gamer just says to check the tip jar. W's in the chat. Jonathan the Gamer just sent 20 directly through the tip jar. Oop, wrong button. All right, you guys, we're checking out the Discord and counting it twice. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. What it is, guys, it's your boy Blasphemous HD, and I wish I was coming to you with better news. You know, today is a terrifyingly horrible day. Good for you, but bad for me, because today we are here to watch Look-See Supercut compilation series Crypt TV Cryptocounterlight. You know what I mean? We gonna need all the help we can get. We're probably screwed, man. Oh, look, they got Look-See. They got season 2 of Look-See. I didn't know there was a season 2. Let's do this. We're cooked. We about to die. All right, now I'm not scared. You assholes. Who put that in the beginning? White sheet over him. Not the boil. Yeah. All the kids, they died. Ghosts probably murdered them. Bruh, not they be fried. The funeral got lied. He told them that they living. Just made up what he saw. Said that nigga tripping. That bitch, she be crippin'. She be wearing blue. I don't fuck with yellow shit. Except for Pikachu. I see. What is it? Oh, fuck. Purple Ghost. Who stole me Lucky Charms? Call me now for your bomber-clad free reading. Who's the father of the baby? What's up, Cater? Look, you got this. You got this Queen Latifah lookalike. You got a guard suit on, and you don't take shit from nobody. Please do feel free to flash that light in there before we walk in there, though, because I am very scared. That's not a good sign. Yeah, throw your pistol, bitch. Get the gun. That can't be good either. Man, this lady built like an overweight Wakandan. Wakanda forever. Except she just ate lasagna and pasta all the time. I crack jokes to make me less scared. Oh, found a Michael Jackson glove. She got a light-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. Got a dark-skinned friend, bitch! Bitch! So you got nothing but teeth. Run, bitch! Oh shit, run, bitch! Run, bitch! You get doggy style to death. Oh, damn, that guy has to be at least 20 feet tall. Oh, damn. Yep, pregnant. Guy's 100% pregnant. Hey, the black lady lived. Yep, doggy style to death. He ain't even washed his hands, nasty bastard. He's gonna shit and get up, eh? Real thug. That's real thug life. Tupac wasn't rapping about that. Real one, I don't lie about stuff. I don't even wipe, nigga. I shit and just get up. We gonna act that out. We not gonna put that on the album, guys. That one might not sell well. Damn, bitch, you gonna get rid of your husband? I'm not scared. I'll let you guys know the secret. I was scared just now. Fuck. This guy's trying to watch us poop. Yeah. Yeah, get it up there. Yeah, put the pussy on the ladder. We gonna edit that out. Brace yourselves, men. Prepare yourselves. Fuck. We're really screwed now. Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're so chalked. Is that bad? Good Lord. Oh, she's pregnant. Yeah. The whole thing in there. Yeah, that'll teach her. Huh? Yep. The fuck? I don't get it. Why did flushing her wedding ring get rid of the monster? Was the monster her husband? Yep. Spread it, bitch. You know what this is. Yep, it is. 100% sexual. That is exactly, there's no other way to take that scene. Yep, told you. Yep, told y'all. I'm psychic. I knew it. Most chicks have to pay for that type of action. Miss, I assure you, there's no need for you to unsheath your bosom. Please, if you could
Daniel.
not run your cheeks. I mean, that can't be good. So you pussy bitch.
Daniel?
Ah! Really? Really, nigga? So he don't know you're there, huh? That's your story. You sticking to it? Ooh, face off. Another sex position. Bent up like that one chick from the Nelly Tip Drill video. Face off. Yeah, she was happy. Oh, told you. Damn, you lived? Shit. Her vagina must be athletic as shit. Why does that turn me on? Yeah, bitch, that's the price of good smashing. It's the price of good smacks. Everything broken. That can't be good. Oh, I don't fuck with this. This is one of the fast running scenes, ain't it? Please don't. Oh, fucking shit. Bitch! Why did that turn me on? That is actually kind of sexy. Do you have a female counterpart that could do that? Yep, there you go, paraplegic bitch. You got it. Yep. Well, yeah, you lost one of your hands, but look at the bright side. The Lord seen fit to bless you with the spare. Super cooked. yourself cannot release, then I will have to take a piece. No. Thanks for letting me know to keep my gun on me. Oh God, it's children. What you doing about half children, bitch? Why would you follow it? This is so obviously a trap. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. No. You was goofy, now you dead it. Talking and all that. About to BLT your goofy ass like lettuce. And you ain't even see no breastis. You done lost on both the quiz and now you just fucked up the test. Doing goofy shit in pieces is where you about to rest. I know a bad bitch, she gon' come through and she like to show her breast. She like my crib, so she call this shit a hella cozy nest. When you see it's your fuck! These jump scares, bro, they really suck. Scary shit I do not trust. This shit just fucks my reflexes up. Shit, I get it done. Come after me, I'm about to run. This shit is scary, it's not fun. That's why I don't trust anyone. Bro, don't pick that up, bro. Is you dumb? I need to write that shit, nigga. Oh yeah, you're fucked. Yeah. Motherfuck, nigga, they about face that nigga. Oh. Ooh. This shit reminded me of Slender. Oh shit. That shit reminded me of Slender. If she coming through the crib, hopefully I'm on bender. I like sugar, but not Splendor. I put that in my tea. She talking goofy shit. Open my door and set her free. Come on, baby girl, just show your teats. It's a love song. It's just a very inappropriate one.
Late one night, a man who lives out in the countryside stepped outside to check on his chickens before going to bed. And that's when he heard something unsettling coming from somewhere in the darkness. Harry, the man behind the Less Giant social media account, explains that he and his family own 300 acres of swampland near Densmore in the United States. It's normally a peaceful, quiet place to live. Harry does admit that the land does have a complicated history. According to him, his family bought the land from an old paper mill that had been operating in the 1800s. However, the paper mill had originally stolen the land from Native Americans who lived there before. Locals have stories about the land involving curse, ghosts, and evil spirits. But Harry has never taken any of them too seriously until now, because when Harry stepped out in the early hours of the morning, he heard something that made him question if those stories were true after all. Grabbing his phone to record, this is what he captured.
Yo, I just walked off the porch and I came out here to check on the chickens. I just heard, first off, I heard my name.
EDP ass
Second off, it sounded like somebody was saying, help me.
trying to help people. What?
Help. I need help. Gary, can you help me?
A voice can be heard quietly calling out through the darkness. The words, "Help me," can clearly be heard. But it gets creepier because seconds later, Harry hears the voice saying his name. After that, Harry stopped recording and went inside to get a flashlight. He looked around the surrounding area, but couldn't find anyone that might have been calling out to him. Now, Harry says he's skeptical of ghosts and the paranormal. He thinks that someone might have snuck onto his land and started messing with him. Apparently, this kind of thing isn't uncommon. He explains why in this next recording.
So, I'm not the only one to have had this experience. Other people have had these experiences. You could just talk to the local people here in Dinsmore. They've had the same experiences out here. In fact, it's so bad. Police officers will draw straws or argue about who has to come down here when something happens. Cops will be out here all the time, but they would not come on the property. They will only meet you at the end of the property. That's how scary it is out here.
Just check to make sure it's locked. Door's locked. This is the trailer that I was worried about. See that, bro? Look, I'm telling you, bro.
I don't get it. See what?
Okay, we're just gonna peek in. Oh my, what the? There's walking around in this mother, bro. Hello?
That's scary.
Bro, shit, bro. Hello?
You brave as shit.
Y'all heard that shit. It's happening all around.
The door to the trailer is ajar, and something whips out of sight as soon as Harry approaches. As if that wasn't scary enough, the door then slams shut. Unsettled, Harry opens the trailer door and hears someone or something moving around inside. However, when he steps inside and looks around, there's no one there. The place looks abandoned, with trash on the floor and no sign that anyone has been inside. Harry struggles to understand what's going on. At first, he thought it was just troublemakers that had trespassed on his property, but now he's not so sure. He can't help asking himself, what if the land is haunted? What if the voice that was calling out to him and the thing in the trailer was a ghost?
I would say chin's pretty high for that one.
Security cameras often inadvertently record some strange and mysterious events. Sometimes there are perfectly logical explanations, and other times, not so much. Yeye Rodriguez recently uploaded a disturbing piece of footage that was captured by security cameras outside her house. Yeye doesn't normally come across any trouble in her neighborhood, but a series of creepy events led her to installing a camera outside her home. It all started a few weeks ago when she would wake up in the morning to find strange writing scrawled on the concrete on her driveway. Yeye had no idea what any of it said, but it didn't seem like something local kids would write. At first, she brushed it off, but then she started being woken up by eerie noises in the middle of the night.
I don't know
And
what
whenever
I'd
she
do if
looked
I got woke up by
outside,
some crazy
there was no
noises.
one there. She installed the security cameras, hoping they would put her mind at ease, but what they recorded one night only made her more unsettled.
Oh, fuck. Transparent ghost lady? Okay. The fuck?
was caught by the security cameras. Staggering up Yi Yi Street in the middle of the night, Yi Yi did not recognize her, but she could see from the footage that the woman was wearing white and was carrying some kind of long stick. Strangely, the woman did not appear to be wearing shoes. It was very clear to Yi Yi that this woman did not belong in Yi Yi's neighborhood. She watched the security camera footage in horror as the woman appeared to tap and drag the stick on the ground. Then she walked off, phasing in and out of sight until she eventually vanishes into the darkness. Yi Yi admits that the woman might have vanished due to the poor camera quality, but that wasn't the part that disturbed her most. It was what was left behind after the woman disappeared. When Yi Yi went outside, she discovered a cross scratched into the concrete. Freaked out, Yi Yi immediately started to speculate that what she caught on her security cameras was a witch. Since sharing the recordings on social media, viewers have advised Yi Yi to have her property cleansed to dispel any evil curses that might have been placed on her home. Yi Yi claims to have done this, but she still can't forget the image of that mysterious woman wandering around in the middle of the night.
That's real.
A man living in a quiet neighborhood has recently been woken up in the middle of the night by strange noises coming from outside. He describes the noises as sounding like something a large animal would make, but there are no large animals living in the area surrounding his house. One night, after being jolted awake by the creepy noises,
Yo,
the
W's in the chat. Jonathan the Gamer just said to check the tip jar. W's in the chat, men. Jonathan the Gamer just sent 10 directly through the tip jar. Damn. Oh, man, this one about to get me. I'm about to get some juice. Oh, man. I may need to get some juice for this one. Damn. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do this. You know I'm scared, man. I got you. Damn. Not this. Anything with this. Doorknob got weed coming out of it and shit. That's some shit I don't like. Bang, bang. Don't touch no scary shit if it ain't in sight. Goofy ghost shit. Set up to lose your life. That little boy. I don't trust no shit. We gon' edit that out. Not naked. No. No burping and or coughing. The juice does help. The juice does help. us again. All right, we got this. I'm not scared. Because we're real ones. This doesn't scare me. Okay, this doesn't. Look how brave I am. We're going to edit that out. Nobody saw that. And if you did, it was cold. She was lying. 5. Mother freaking ghost child shit. No. Shit. Oh, that's the last thing I needed. Oh man, you look attractive. Oh God! Good dog. I hope that hears from her head. Please don't let it be largititis. Penis and vagina hybrid. Vaginitis. Hell no. No. Ooh, man. Oh, fucking run, bitch! No, shake it. Shake it like a tail feather. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. And Lucy Lou. Oh God, punch it! Get the fuck off of us! You don't get yourself skirt off the edge of the fucking... Nigga, you don't let yourself get proof? That's good. I thought it was gonna be worse. Run, bitch! Oh, not this close. Not kissing distance. Ah! 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 Oh, she's coming with us. Oh. Getting horrified as shit. Naked. Bitch. No. We gonna edit that out. I just saw that. Hey, what's up, Grace? What's up, Cater? What is it, man? Weeks. That can't be good. Shit, 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 shit. God damn. Is that chick Mexican?
Grabbed his phone and went outside to investigate. He looked around in the dark for a few moments, and then he saw something in a nearby tree that sent a chill down his spine. This is what he caught on camera. Something can be seen in the tree. Although it's dark, what appears to be a pair of glowing red eyes can be seen peeking out through the gloom. As if that wasn't scary enough, the eyes seem to move around as if something was watching the man. Whatever it is hidden in the high branches of the tree, so nothing apart from those two glowing red spots can be seen. The man recorded for only a few seconds before he got too creeped out and hurried back inside. After making it back into the house and locking the door, the man began to question what exactly he had seen. He thought he might have encountered some kind of animal, which would explain why he kept hearing strange noises in the night. But since posting the recording to his social media, he has received dozens of comments speculating that what he saw could actually have been the Mothman. The Mothman is a cryptid famous in North America that is known to have glowing red eyes. So, did the man catch the Mothman on camera that night? Or could there be a different explanation for these mysterious glowing red spots?
It is
Let
creepy,
me know.
but Mothman is stretching it.
In September 2025, a group of young women took a trip to Mexico together. Social media user Stinky Keeney and her two close friends had been planning their vacation for months and were looking forward to making memories and enjoying some time together. As soon as they got to the airport, the girls decided to take as many photos as they could, so they would have plenty to look back on. Throughout the trip, they snapped hundreds of pictures, but not all of them preserved happy memories. When Stinky Keeney was going through her camera roll, she saw something in one of her photos that made her heart sink with fear. The photo was taken inside her hotel room. It showed her and her friends smiling happily, but there was something behind them, something they had no idea was there until much later.
More naked or female? Oh, fuck that.
Directly behind the girls, something dark was captured. It looked like nothing more than a dark silhouette. But then, Stinky Keeney zoomed in and brightened the photo and saw this. What appears to be a woman can be seen directly behind Stinky Keeney and her friends. Stinky Keeney says the woman looks like she has dark, sunken eyes and seems to have a menacing grin spread across her face. Some viewers have suggested that this dark figure could simply be another person who the girls hadn't noticed in the background of their photo. But what makes this so creepy is that none of the girls recognized the woman. Plus, according to Stinky Keeney, the photo was taken inside her hotel room, and it was only her and her 2 friends there at the time. So, if what she says is true, it's hard to explain what that woman was doing behind them. Stinky Keeney and her friends believe they captured a ghost on camera, but what do you think? Drop a comment and let me know. Some of the creepiest cases of paranormal activity are captured by accident. According to Queen Lock 1989, she has witnessed many strange occurrences inside her home, including seeing mysterious lights and witnessing doors opening and closing by themselves. This makes her think her home could be haunted by a ghost, but she's never been able to catch evidence on camera until now. Queen Lock was live streaming late one night when her camera recorded something unsettling behind her. This is what she and her live stream viewers saw.
Will you ever move back to Ohio? Hell no. You know, that's funny because my family asked me to move back when I got out of the military, right?
She saw that shit.
Hold the fuck up.
An unexplained light appears behind Queen Lock, who immediately notices it and stops mid-sentence. The light obviously scares her, and her viewers quickly see it too and start flooding the chat with concerned messages. Since the clip was taken from a live stream, whatever this light was, it was seen by a live audience, meaning that it's unlikely to be fake. When it comes to paranormal sightings, strange lights are often associated with ghosts and spirits. The most famous cases are spirit orbs, but witnesses also report seeing light that appears to move around as if controlled by something invisible. But if you thought that wasn't spooky enough, check out this next clip. Margam Castle is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in
where you guys
the
from?
UK.
What time zone were you guys
The
at?
castle was built in 1830, and although it was once open to the public, it's now closed for renovations. According to construction workers, the upper floors of the castle are so dangerous, no one is allowed to go up there. While visiting the park surrounding the castle, ghost hunter Haunted Foodie saw something that she says is evidence of paranormal activity. Creeped out, she grabbed her phone and hit record. Through one of the windows on the second floor, a figure appears to be walking around. What makes this video so creepy is that no one should have been inside the castle at the time this video was recorded. The castle has been closed for several months for renovations. This has led Haunted Foodie to speculate that she could have caught a ghost on camera, since the figure seems to be dressed in black. Haunted Foodie thinks it might be the ghost of a woman in mourning clothes, or even one of the maids who used to work in the castle. Spooky. A couple in South America claim to have been seeing dark figures lurking in the shadows of their home. They also claim to have heard strange noises at night, so they decided to install security cameras around their house. They hoped that the strange noises and the dark figures were just their imagination. But one night, one of the security cameras detected movement in an empty room and captured this.
damn nap.
Something dark can be seen in the kitchen. At first, it's hard to see, and the couple might not even have noticed it if they hadn't been looking for it. But when the footage is brightened, what appears to be the shadowy silhouette of someone or something comes into view. Creeped out, the couple shared the footage online, hoping that someone might be able to offer a rational explanation. Most viewers speculate that the CCTV camera captured one of the shadow people the couple claim to have been seeing in their home. But what do you think? Let me know. Late one night, a family was relaxing on their porch. It was a peaceful moment, but then something caught their attention. A dark shadow crossed in front of their house. They had no idea how to explain what they'd seen, so they checked their security camera footage to see if it had picked up the shadow in more detail. What they saw in the footage wasn't just a shadow, but something none of them could have expected. Instead of a mysterious shadow, the security camera captured what looks like a man wearing old-fashioned clothing. Viewers say the man appears to be dressed in 1920s fashion. This wouldn't usually be anything to feel creeped out over, but there is something strange about the man. He looks almost see-through, as if he isn't quite solid. As he slowly makes his way past the cars behind him, they seem to show up through the places where his body should be. What's even more confusing is that the family claim that the man looked like nothing more than a dark shadow when they saw him on the street, yet their camera showed something completely different. Horrified, the family immediately started to wonder if they had inadvertently caught a ghost, or maybe even a time traveler on camera. But what's your verdict on this clip? Ghost, time traveler, or something else? Santa Paula, Mexico in Jalisco, Mexico is famous in South America for being one of the most haunted locations on the whole continent. Legends tell of vampires, the ghosts of children, and even a spectral monk who haunts the graves. It is said that the monk himself is buried in the cemetery, but no one knows for sure where or who he was when he was alive. However, visitors to the cemetery often report seeing the monk wandering around. Back in the 1990s, a couple with a passion for haunted places decided to take some wedding photos in front of a famous mausoleum in the cemetery. Although they didn't know at the time, they now think they accidentally caught some of the clearest footage of the ghost monk ever recorded. As the couple stands on the steps of the mausoleum, a figure appears below them. The figure is dressed in black and appears to be wearing a long cloak with a hood, very much like something a monk would wear. What scared the couple most about the appearance of the figure was that it seemed to come out of nowhere. There was nowhere that a person could have hidden under the stairs, meaning that the figure must have passed through solid concrete. This led them to believe that they had captured the spectral monk from the legends on camera. But what do you think? Is this a ghost? Let me know down below. If you want to see more clips of ghosts, cryptids, and the paranormal, check out the videos on your screen now.
Hey, that's what's up, Brand Gaming. Appreciate you for the support. I normally be watching these one videos. I'm looking for them though. Yo, much love, man. Appreciate you. My day is good. Yeah. Just looking for these videos. I want to show y'all. Easier said than done. Come on, bro.
Slowly work our way towards the ones that made some thieves multi-millionaires. Number 7, the Great Brinks Robbery. On January 17th, 1950, in Boston, Massachusetts, 11 men entered the Brinks Armored Car Depot, all wearing chauffeur caps, pea coats, rubber Halloween masks, and each carrying a .38 caliber revolver. The 5 workers on shift that day were quickly tied up and their mouths were taped shut. The thieves were in and out within 20 minutes, stealing over $2.7 million in cash and valuables, a value that would be worth around $36 million today. No one was injured and not a single piece of useful evidence was left behind. Even the escape vehicle that was used
for a robbery in which he never fired a shot. Number 10, Dejan Sledge.
Alrighty then, men. The most unfortunate home intruders that never made it out alive. Dumbest killers who murder over food. That's wild. Very.
Number 1,
very wild.
Miguel Antonio de Jesus.
Let's do this. What it is, guys? It's your boy Blasphemous HD. What it is, guys? It's your boy Blasphemous HD, and today we're here to check out a video called none other than the most unfortunate home intruders that never made it out alive. This video holds near and dear to my heart because when I was back in the day, yeah, I mean, that was technically one of my very first ventures into entrepreneurship was breaking and entering. You know what I'm saying? Never got caught, never went to jail for it, but I learned enough I did enough of it to learn to stop doing it because, you know, the only possible end is either, you know, what these guys got or jail. Let's do this.
Number 1, Miguel Antonio de Jesus. Miguel Antonio de Jesus walked out of the broken window of a Pasadena, Texas home, carrying a bag filled with jewelry, cash, and electronics he had just taken with his partner, Diego Ortiz. It was early afternoon on November 14th, 2007, broad daylight, in a quiet subdivision near the 6700 block of Timberline Drive. The home they targeted belonged to Joe Horn's next-door neighbor, who was not there at the time. Both men moved quickly, stepping across the property line with the stolen items and preparing to flee. They had not spoken to the homeowner inside the neighboring house, and there was no indication they expected confrontation outside. But what they did not see from the driveway was that 61-year-old Joe Horn was standing behind his own front door with a 12-gauge shotgun in his hands. After spending several minutes on the phone with a 911 dispatcher describing every movement they made, Horn had watched the break-in unfold from his home. He saw the men force entry and move through the neighbor's property, and he called 911 to report it. The dispatcher repeatedly instructed him not to go outside. The warnings were direct. He was told officers were already on their way, told that confronting the burglars could get him killed, told that property was not worth risking his life over. Horn disagreed. Throughout the call, he referenced a new law he believed allowed him to intervene. On the recording, he stated more than once that he would not let the men get away. Each time the dispatcher urged him to remain inside, Horn responded with growing resolve. As the burglary progressed, a plainclothes Pasadena police detective arrived in the area and parked nearby in an unmarked vehicle. He observed the scene but did not immediately make contact or reveal his presence. Meanwhile, the 911 call continued. Horn watched as the two men exited the neighbor's home carrying a bag of stolen property. He told the dispatcher they were moving away and that he was going out. The dispatcher said, "Don't go out there," Horn replied. "I'm not going to let them go." Those were among the final words spoken before the sound of a door opening came across the call. Seconds later, Horn stepped out onto his front yard with the shotgun. On the recording, he can be heard issuing a brief verbal command. What he shouted varies across accounts because the audio contains overlapping noise, but it was followed almost immediately by 3 blasts from the shotgun. The gunfire lasted only moments. Both suspects fell in or near Horn's yard. They died at the scene. The plainclothes officer later reported that at least one man appeared to be struck from the rear while moving away, a detail that triggered significant scrutiny. Pasadena police officials later said that due to the nature of shotgun pellet spread and tissue damage, the medical examiner could not conclusively determine entry angle based on the wounds. When officers and EMS arrived, the 2 men were already deceased. A bag containing the stolen jewelry, cash, and equipment was recovered nearby. Neither suspect was found with a firearm. They carried burglary tools and the stolen property, but no weapons beyond what was used to break into the home. Investigators identified the suspects as Miguel Antonio de Jesus, age 38, and Diego Ortiz, age 30. De Jesus was later confirmed to be Hernando Riascos Torres, a Colombian national living in the United States under an alias. Both men were in the country without legal status. From law enforcement, indicated that Torres had a prior conviction for cocaine trafficking and had been deported in 1999 before returning illegally. Horn was questioned by Pasadena police but was not arrested. The shooting triggered an immediate and polarized public reaction once the 911 recording became public. Protesters gathered in front of Horn's home in the days that followed. Some called the shooting an act of vigilante violence and raised concerns about race, since both suspects were Hispanic and unarmed. Others gathered to support Horn, arguing that he protected the neighborhood and acted lawfully in confronting felony suspects fleeing with stolen property. The incident became a focal point in national debates over citizen intervention, immigration enforcement, and Texas's expanded castle doctrine, which had been revised earlier that same year. Texas law allows the use of deadly force in certain circumstances to protect property, including at nighttime or when a suspect is fleeing with stolen items.
What's my favorite type of Doritos? Either spicy or hot. Yeah. Used to be Cool Ranch when I was children.
And police cannot reasonably intercept them. Legal scholars emphasized that Horn's situation occurred in daylight and on a neighbor's property, making the application of the statute complex. Still, under the Texas Penal Code, deadly force can be justified to prevent the imminent escape of someone who has just committed burglary if the property cannot be safeguarded by other means. That legal question became central to the case. District Attorney Ken Magidson announced that the grand jury had declined to indict Horn on any criminal charge. He stated that although use of deadly force is limited by state law, the grand jury determined that Horn's actions did not rise to a criminal offense. With the no-bill decision, the case effectively closed. No charges were filed against Horn. The deaths of Torres and Ortiz were ruled justifiable under Texas law, based on the grand jury's application of the property defense statutes and their conclusions about Horn's perception of the situation as the burglary unfolded. The ruling remained controversial, becoming one of the most debated applications of the Castle Doctrine in Texas, and cited repeatedly in discussions about armed intervention by private citizens. The sequence of events, from the burglary to the 911 call to the confrontation, was supported by police reports, the recovered stolen property, and the statements provided during the criminal inquiry. The exact angles of the shots and the movement of the suspects in the final seconds remain points where reports differ, but no evidence emerged that contradicted the central facts. 2 men burglarized a neighbor's home, walked into Horne's yard with stolen property, and were shot as they attempted to flee. The grand jury concluded the law allowed Horne to intervene. The case left a lasting imprint on Texas legal and political discussions, not because the facts were unclear, but because the boundaries of justified deadly force were tested in real time, recorded in a 911 call, and debated nationwide afterward. For investigators and prosecutors, was already there, sitting in a chair at the bottom of the staircase with a loaded Mini-14 rifle in his hands. For weeks, he had been spending long hours in that basement, convinced that another break-in was coming. He had told people he felt targeted. He believed burglars had stolen his father's prisoner of war watch, cash, and tools in previous months. By November, he had removed light bulbs around the home, carried a handgun even while inside, and positioned a digital recorder on a bookshelf to capture anything that might happen next. According to that recording, the break-in began just after midday. Glass shattered upstairs. Footsteps moved across the main floor. Smith did not call 911. He stayed in his chair, rifle aimed at the narrow stairwell. When the first intruder began to descend, only the lower half of his body was visible. The audio captured one shot, then another. Brady fell onto the concrete floor. Smith walked toward him and fired a third round at close range. The teenager no longer moved. Smith dragged the body onto a tarp and pulled it into a workshop area at the back of the basement. Roughly 10 to 15 minutes passed before the second intruder entered. Kiffer came down the same staircase, unaware that Brady was already dead. Smith fired as she reached the lower steps, causing her to fall. The audio preserved her reaction and Smith's movements. After several seconds, he shot her again. She continued making noise, and Smith fired another close-range round. When she still appeared to be alive, the recording captured a final shot delivered under her chin. Prosecutors later called it a finishing shot. Autopsy results showed she was hit multiple times, including at least one shot fired at extremely close distance while she was already incapacitated. Smith did not contact authorities after the killings. He left both bodies in the basement overnight. The next day, he approached a neighbor, asking for help locating an attorney. That neighbor grew concerned and called the Morrison County Sheriff's Office. When deputies arrived, Smith calmly informed them there were 2 deceased individuals in his basement and led them inside. Investigators found the bodies on separate tarps, spent casings on the floor, and the recorder still running, capturing hours of audio after the shootings. When questioned, Smith told detectives he had feared for his life and believed the teenagers might have been armed. Neither was found with a weapon. Investigators determined both were unarmed and that Smith had fired after any immediate threat had ended. The recording, which contained Smith's remarks before, during, and after the shootings, became central evidence. Prosecutors argued that he had positioned himself in advance, lying in wait with loaded weapons, a chair, and a recorder. They stated that his actions were not split-second defensive reactions, but deliberate choices made when the intruders were already wounded or incapacitated. In April 2014, after a trial lasting several days, a jury deliberated for only a few hours before delivering its verdict. Smith was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. The judge imposed life sentences without the possibility of parole, the mandatory punishment under Minnesota law for first-degree murder. Smith's defense team argued on appeal that he acted within his right to defend his home under the state's Castle Doctrine, but the Minnesota Supreme Court later upheld the conviction. Justices concluded that the doctrine did not apply once the threat had ended, and that the audio recordings clearly established intentional, unjustified killings. The Little Falls case gained national attention because it challenged assumptions about home defense, the limits of reasonable force, and the line between protection and execution. It was not the initial shots that shaped the legal conclusion, but everything that followed. Prosecutors presented evidence showing Smith waited in a prearranged position, shot an unarmed teenager multiple times after he had fallen, reloaded, waited for the second intruder, shot her, and then delivered a final close-range round after she lay wounded on the basement floor. Those facts, supported by the recording and physical evidence, led jurors to conclude this was not self-defense. It was homicide carried out in a controlled, methodical manner. Byron Smith remains incarcerated at Minnesota Correctional Facility, Oak Park Heights, serving life without parole. The case continues to be cited in legal discussions about the boundaries of defensive force, often described as an example of how a lawful response to a burglary can become criminal once an intruder is subdued and the danger has passed. Rural edge of Bingham County just before sunrise, long before anyone inside the isolated home on West 600 North even stirred. He was 39 years old, a Blackfoot resident with no known criminal convictions, but a history that relatives described as unstable. Investigators later learned he had interacted with the homeowner years earlier at the pawn shop and gun range she once operated, a connection that prosecutors believe shaped why he targeted her. In the early hours of mid-March 2024, Condon parked his white Honda CR-V roughly 1 mile from the property, choosing a remote lava rock area where a vehicle would be unlikely to draw attention. From there, he crossed the open fields on foot, carrying a 9mm pistol, a .22 caliber handgun with a suppressor, duct tape, 2 pairs of handcuffs, rope, and a black ski mask. Everything about the approach suggested planning, not impulse. Shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning, he forced his way into the home, breaking a rear door window with a screwdriver found later at the scene. Inside, 85-year-old Christine Janayan was asleep in.
All right, you guys. If you reach the Super Chat milestone, which is in 10 more in the Super Chat, I'll stay longer. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we about to roll out in like 5 minutes.
Her bedroom, unaware that the intruder had already entered the hallway. When she opened her eyes, Condon was standing over her, flashlight and firearm pointed directly at her face. Evidence collected afterward indicated he struck her in the head at least once while she was still in bed. Blood was found on her pillow and the floor beside it. He ordered her out of the bedroom and guided her at gunpoint into the living room, where he handcuffed her wrists to a wooden chair. The threats began immediately. He wanted valuables, and he wanted them now. Christine told him she had very little, but Condon pressed the barrel of his gun against her head. She eventually revealed there were 2 safes downstairs. As he moved through the basement searching rooms, she remained handcuffed and wounded, listening to him go back and forth. During one of his trips upstairs, he encountered her adult disabled son in a downstairs room. According to the prosecutor's report, this discovery enraged him and escalated his threats. He accused her of hiding information, returned to the living room, and warned her more than once that she was going to die. When he went downstairs again, Christine pulled the chair toward her bedroom inch by inch, dragging its legs across the carpet. Inside her room, beneath her pillow, she kept a loaded .357 Magnum revolver. Still handcuffed, she managed to retrieve it, then dragged the chair back into the living room and concealed the weapon between the armrest and cushion of a nearby couch. Investigators later noted her firearm experience. She had once trained competitors for a shooting team and believed that familiarity played a critical role in what followed. Condon returned upstairs, continued rummaging, and renewed his threats. Christine later told investigators that in that moment, she believed she was about to be killed. She waited for an opening, reached for the revolver, and fired 2 rounds. Both shots struck Condon in the chest area. In response, he raised his 9mm handgun and emptied the magazine. Bullets tore through the living room, striking Christine in the abdomen, leg, arm, and chest. Mortally wounded, Condon staggered into the kitchen, where he collapsed and died. Christine fell to the floor, still handcuffed to the chair. The blood loss, shock, and injuries left her unable to move. Hours passed. Her disabled son remained downstairs, unaware of the exact situation. Christine lay on the living room floor for roughly 10 hours until late morning, when her son managed to bring her a phone. Shortly after midday, she called 911 and reported that she was handcuffed and the intruder was dead. Deputies arrived at approximately 12:17 p.m. and found the scene exactly as she described. Condon deceased in the kitchen, Christine severely injured but alive on the living room floor, the broken rear window visible, and firearms, ammunition, duct tape, and restraints scattered throughout the house. Tire tracks and footprints were documented, leading back toward the remote parking area where the Honda CR-V was located. Inside the vehicle, investigators found cash, a money clip, ammunition, and items consistent with robbery preparation. A 47-page deputy report detailed every piece of physical evidence recovered. Christine was airlifted to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center, where she underwent emergency treatment. During interviews with investigators, she described the sequence of events, though she acknowledged gaps in her memory due to the head injury and the shooting itself. Prosecutors compared her account with the physical evidence, scene photographs, and recovered items. Nothing contradicted her statements. Everything aligned with forced entry, armed burglary, kidnapping, aggravated battery, and credible threats to kill her. Bingham County Prosecutor Ryan Jolly initiated a formal incident review. After evaluating the detailed reports, ballistic evidence, the trajectory of rounds fired, and the timeline reconstructed from footprints and her son's morning movements, he issued a public conclusion. Christine's use of deadly force was justified under Idaho law. Condon's actions, armed entry, restraint, threats, and escalating violence created a clear and immediate danger of death or serious injury. Jolly
This is a good one?
Alright, you guys. This will be the last video of the night. Let's do this.
This is a good one?
Is it? Oh, that's pretty sick. Yeah, mine's red. Hey, careful, you can't cut my dick off. Swams, stop. Can we purchase them? Going after them?
I'll just call security if you guys would like to keep mucking around.
Well. You do something about it, bro? Security's coming. We're gonna be ready for it.
These niggas are hilarious, bro. I love these guys. These niggas are too funny, bro. Yep. Definitely 3 a.m., Jared. Oh, shit. You see that one again. It's for a friend. Yeah, that checks out. Shit. Good job.
Yo, we hungry! You're using the phone?
I can't with these niggas, bro. These niggas are too theatrical. They way too theatrical. I don't know if I can do that. Like, stand in front of a crowd of people.
Yo, we hungry! Y'all trying to starve us? Let's get the fuck out of here now. Why is
These
everyone
guys
calling
had
the police?
a fucking blast to record stuff with, man. Like, these guys are damn near some of my favorite freaking YouTubers, dude. Straight up, like, that's what's up. They made a horror film? Nigga. Yo, that is super fucking cool, bro. God damn. They did that shit with 150
Keep it
videos,
straight.
bro.
Keep the camera straight. Thank you.
I try to touch the sky. Man, I've been there once or twice. Now I take shelter from their judging eyes. I feel them stare and they wonder why I'm sitting in the darkness. I'm just waiting for the sun to rise. I want some liquid courage, but the drink is spot. I try to put the pen to paper.
If asking me again, I'd say take that shit, skin me in. If asking me again, I'd say take that shit back.
Can we do it over 90 to 100 minutes?
All right. I thought that would be a good video, but apparently, you know,